All right, now you can hear sound for sure. Let's do this again. You can hear sound, yes? Okay. I think the sound should be working now. Have a few challenges here with the sound. And let me just ask my staff, make sure that there is sound. Okay. Let's do this again. All right. As if we're starting from scratch, let's ask for blessings because that's important. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, and spiritual helpers. Personally, to my teacher, Master Chokok Sui Mahagu Jumeling, we thank you for divine light, divine love, guidance, help, healing, and divine protection. And thank you for helping me out with my screw-ups. Thank you for the blessings. And in this powerful full moon, open our hearts, our minds, our souls, that we may be of service to others. We thank you in full faith. So it is. All right. Let's do this again. So the question is, why do we have our full moon meditations? During the full moon, everything gets amplified, okay? One great teacher, his name is the Holy Master Dwal Kul, the Tibetan teacher, said that full moon is a time of crisis or it could be a time of opportunity. It depends on which side of the fence you're at. People on the spiritual path, it's a time of opportunity because there's so much energy coming down, everything is magnified. You can use that energy to flush out a lot of negative thoughts, negative emotions, negative tendencies, and you can use it to amplify the good qualities that we want. Now, for people on the other side who are not yet serious about their spiritual path, well, guess what? They're not aware of this energy, so they just know that during the full moon, things go nuts. Right? We have a close friend. His name's Julie. She's in New York, and I remember she was what is she? I think she's a medical doctor, and she said she's working in the emergency room. She said patients who have psychological issues, when it comes to the full moon, it just go bonkers. We have a student that works at the jail. He said same thing. Even the inmates ask him, "Hey, is it full moon? Because I'm feeling crazy," because it amplifies. So the idea here is twofold. One, we understand this energy, so we're going to harness it to flush stuff out, right? And then amplify the good qualities within us. And more importantly, after the meditation, we're going to use that excess energy to bless Mother Earth. So the people who are going through difficult times, we're going to bless them with loving energy, healing energy. And Lord knows this time it's really needed. You know, you have people who are sick, people who are psychologically affected by the perception of people who are sick. There's financial issues, relationship issues, and so on and so on. So we need to do our part to hold that ginormous hose and clean them out. Okay? Now, before we continue, we always try to have a short lesson every full moon. Because I remember my teacher used to say, it's good to guide people in meditation, but it is also very important for them to be learning certain spiritual truths along the way. And so, you know, one of the things that I was thinking, what should we talk about this full moon? And we just we have Thanksgiving, and then Christmas is coming up. So why don't we talk about gratitude, but not just gratitude, but how to have that gratitude each and every day. And a big part of that is understanding that there are things that we'll never understand, or things that are not yet within our realm of understanding. And it brings up to mind growing up, studying Chinese stories. And I know if you're Chinese, you've heard about this. I hope I didn't distort it. If I remember correctly, you guys remember the movie Mulan, right? Okay, so each family, there's a war, so each family is supposed to supply 1 or 2 boys to go to war. So there's this story. There was no war, everything's quiet and peaceful. And the son, the eldest son, came home and with the family and everything's fine, everything's cool. And the next day, he went out to go to work again. And then on the way home, he fell and broke his leg. So now he can't walk. So everybody in the family, oh, I can't believe it. He's the only wage earner of the family. He can't walk. And they were feeling so bad. And some smart dude just said, everything happens for a purpose. It's going to be okay. Something to that effect. Okay, bear in mind, I learned these lessons like 40 years ago. Okay. And so the family go, how could it be good? I mean, this guy who's making money for the family just broke his leg. he can't work. And they went on and on and on. And some smart dude, some sage said, it's going to be okay. So what are you going to do, right? Broken leg's broken leg. And then a certain time passed, and sure enough, there's this great war. And every family is supposed to supply one dude, one guy. Well, he's exempted because he can't walk. So the family did not send in anybody. Well, guess what? During that war, most of the guys got slaughtered. Then the old guy came back and said, see, you thought it was bad that he broke his leg. But in reality, in the big picture, it was good because it saved his life. What's my point? The human experience, we have the perception of only like this. God's perception is beyond our comprehension. And so oftentimes we like to complain. Oh, how come this has happened? Oh, what happened? Something not too pleasant happened. We complain, God, why me? And so in reality, in the big picture, everything happens at God's time. And this brings up to mind Tony Robbins' wife, Sage Robbins, who things could be exploding. And she goes, the beautiful thing about this is, and people going, what's so beautiful about it? And every time I hear her say that, it reminds me of this story. It's like you never know what is in God's plan. You could have a family member that is sick, you have a family member that passed, or you're going through difficult times. But in the big picture, everything happens at God's time. For a lot of us, that's very difficult to accept because you go, yeah, but you don't understand. Like in my case, 30-some years ago, my wife fell and broke her hip. I mean, she couldn't walk. The doctor said it'll take 3.5 months before she can even put weight on it. Most people say, oh my God, what is happening? Now, looking back, if she didn't break her hip, I would not have gotten into pranic healing. I would not be where I am today. Everything has a purpose. And the difficulty for most people to accept that or realize that is because of one simple fact. Everyone's looking at it from the perception of the body, the immediate emotions, and the thoughts, not from the spiritual self that is using the body, the emotions, and the thoughts. Because if you realize that you are the soul, the spiritual being, having an earthly journey, and you're simply using the body, the emotions, thoughts to interact with this earthly life and the people around it and circumstances, you start to realize that the soul is immortal and the perception of now is very, very wide. And so whatever's happening now, based on your perception, could be good, could be bad. The key is to be the observer. Now, that said, I want to just point out to you, what is this now that we're talking about? Eckhart Tolle talked about the power of now, and many spiritual teachers talk about now, and it's a very powerful teaching because it allows you to realize what you think is now is actually a combination of the past and the future in our perception. Because as you're observing it, that is the now. But as you recall, 5 years ago this happened, you're observing it in the now. As you're thinking, 3 years from now, I'm going to plan for this, I'm going to build this, I'm going to... Guess what happened? You're not thinking about it then, you're thinking about it now. So this part of now is something that we need to really understand to be able to harness what we learned from the past and build a better future. So I want to share something with you. This is a book written by my teacher, the last book he wrote before he left the body. By the way, he was also an engineer by trade, so I love it when he's putting in a very, very concrete terms. So I'll just read it to you. The principle of now. During deep meditation, sometimes the meditator may experience a state of consciousness that is called now, where the past, the present, and the future are experienced as one or now. To understand this concept, it must be specified the experience of now is not static, but dynamic. Okay. The present is constantly becoming the past, and the immediate future is constantly becoming the present. It's just like you're standing, okay, this is my part, not him. Like you're standing in a conveyor belt, right? What you think it's now, as soon as you perceive it as now, whoop, it went that way. And then what you think, oh, that's future, is right here. Okay? Again, the present is constantly becoming the past, and the immediate future is constantly becoming the present. And the distant future is dynamic. The future is being experienced at that moment. It's not static, it is dynamic. To comprehend this concept of now, imagine there are 1 million supercomputers connected and gridded together. Okay, like ginormous number of computers, they're all working as one. So the processing power is 10 to the nth power. Okay? All data have already been inputted, and the moment the new data are encoded, the gridded supercomputers would almost instantaneously come out with a projected future outcome of events. The past, the present, and the future are experienced simultaneously. You guys are going, what? Okay. In other words, if you look at it from the lower level, from the human level, well, what you can touch, you can see, you can feel, everything that you call is now is perceived by your senses. That's why the very first line says, when a meditator is meditating, remember that? It's because when you're meditating, you are pulling the I, the real I, from the body, the emotions, and the thoughts, so you get to realize who the I am is, minus the influence of the data that is being perceived by the body, the emotions, and the thoughts. You're going back to your center, the immortal self. So when you're looking at it, you're not looking at it from down here, you're looking at it from up here. The ability to observe. Now, why is that important? Because once you're doing it in meditation and you're observing, part of you is connected to the universal network of intelligence, of love, or all the goody stuff. So when you're in that state, sometimes you notice, this looks like it's something bad, but in reality, it's no big deal. This too shall pass. Or in deep meditation, you realize, 30 years ago, yeah, that was terrible. She broke her hip. But because of that, karmically, certain things happened that caused me to where I am today. If you're swimming in the mud, you cannot see this way, this way, this way. You can just see like this. So here's the secret. You can read 1,000 books, or you can simply understand it like this. We'll make it super duper simple, and you can apply it right away. The principle of now is in reality the secret behind mindfulness. The problem is, most people think mindfulness, okay, I've read this before. I mean, it's not bad. I'm just trying to give you the bigger picture. Yeah, I have to be mindful when I eat. I should taste every drop of whatever ingredient, how it tastes in my mouth, how blah, blah, blah. That's being mindful. Okay, that's good. So at least, it's better than being stressed out of your mind. Or when you're working, the Zen of meditation, Zen of motorcycle, this and that, the first book that came out. So in other words, you have to be mindful of what you're doing, and so your attention is there in the now. That's good. Again, compared to the general public, that's going like, that's 1,000 times better. But since you guys are very, very advanced, here's the secret. True mindfulness is when the I am is the pure observer. When the spiritual self can pull itself out of the entire circumstance and observe everything that's happening, your perception of now is wider and more dynamic. Because as the spiritual self, as you're observing the now, something very interesting happens. A lot of you have studied quantum mechanics, or at least heard of it, right? Come on, you guys, if you've watched Ant-Man and Avengers, okay? But it's as simple as this. According to this smart dude, what's his name? Heisenberg. I don't know his first name. Some Austrian guy. Heisenberg uncertainty says, the act of observing the electron or observing something could affect it. That's why a lot of times, okay, the electron's supposed to be here. The minute they want to look at it, they want to observe it, it moved. The act of observing something could change it. right? That's why you guys remember in Avengers, and what's his name? Iron Man was looking at, which I don't have my cup. Doctor Strange, right? Because he already saw how many millions of different possibilities, but there's only one where they win. And so, what happened? When that moment came, remember, Robert Downey Jr. looked at Doctor Strange, or anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Cumberbatch, right? Look at him. Because now, he goes, if I tell you, it would not happen. The question is why? It goes back to, in the quantum world, as they call it, there's this Schrodinger's cat. A lot of you know, there's this box. You don't know if the cat in there is dead or alive. Well, you won't know until you look at it. Because the fact that you look at it could change the possibility. I hope I'm not confusing you guys. Here's my point. If you understand that you are the soul, the spiritual self, and you exist in the physical world through your physical body, in the emotional world through your emotions, in the mental world through your thoughts, that means that observer has the ability to observe in the physical world, the emotional world, and the mental world, and the higher spiritual worlds. And based on those principles, as you experience who you are, you get to see what happened, and you get to see and observe and change, to a certain extent, what will happen in the future. That's why the truth, the future, based on spiritual truth, is actually dynamic. Now, ordinary people who are not on the spiritual path, basically they're like boats in the ocean with no rudder, no compass, no everything. It's basically whichever way the waves go, they get tossed back and forth. When you're on the spiritual path and you do deep meditation on a regular basis, as you realize who you really are, in deep meditation, stillness is critical. Without stillness, you don't have the ability to observe. True? Not true. Because your mind, your emotions, everything's been pulled all over the place. Once you extract yourself and practice that stillness, you get to truly observe. And at that point, you start noticing this thing happened for a purpose. This good thing, not so good thing, is irrelevant at this time. It is happening due to certain causes that's having this effect. And based on this, certain things will happen. Now, if you go, but I do want to change my future. Based on what I have now, I still want to make it better. Now, this is where you add a certain ingredient in it. So, for example, this pen. At the present moment, if I let go of this, by the law of gravity, it will continue and hit the ground. Make sense? So I can observe it. That's what's going to happen. If I don't want it to happen, I don't want it to hit the ground, what do? First, I have to observe it. And the next thing I need to do is introduce a new force that will counteract it so it doesn't hit the ground. That introduction of that new force or that new component is called the law of karma. You see, I remember my teacher was saying, he said, predicting the future is very difficult. Creating the future is easier. Think about it. Predicting the future is very difficult, but there's so many factors involved. Everything is subject to change. And if you remember, the Lord Buddha said, everything is subject to change, nothing is permanent. And the reason it's not permanent, because there are three laws involved. The law of change, the law of cycles, things are always going to cycle, and the third one is called the law of consequence, or the law of karma. When you have these three laws happening simultaneously, everything is changing. It's very difficult to predict what's going to happen in the future. Out of those three things, law of change, can't do anything about that, it's going to change. Law of cycles, you cannot stop the sun from coming up and the moon going up, going down, up. You can't do that, right? You can't change the week, can't change the year. The third one, you can do something about. It's called the law of consequence, the law of karma. As I introduce a new factor, I can prevent this from hitting the ground. So, if you put everything together, when you do your deep meditation, that's how you're able to see things clearly. Without meditation, you cannot experience stillness. Without stillness, there is no clarity. That's why when people tell me, oh yeah, I do a lot of meditation, I look at them, they're going through a lot of emotional turmoil all the time. I go, you might be meditating, but maybe you're not taking enough time practicing stillness. Because when you practice stillness, two things happen. Number one, during that stillness, you get to see things clearly. Number two, the more you practice stillness, the more you will notice that in your waking moment or when you're non-meditating moments, you are able to extend that sensation or that perception of stillness. That's why you notice sometimes when things are going crazy, you're just watching it. Notice that? Or sometimes you have this weird, if it doesn't ever happen to you, or you're not willing to tell anyone, don't worry. It happened to a lot of us. You're going like this. Suddenly you're watching TV, you're eating, you wake up in the morning, whatever, you go like this. You go, what are you doing? It's like you're observing this in amazement. You go, hey, that's my hand, I'm moving it. This is a hand I'm moving. It's just like, that's a pen. You know what happened? Because in deep meditation, you get to temporarily pull yourself out of the body, the emotions and thoughts and observe. And as you do this more often, guess what happens? You have glimpses of it happening on a daily basis. To the extent that when somebody is there that irritates you, part of you is like, oh yeah, man, this guy is such a jerk. Part of you is like observing. Yeah, I do notice that whenever this person shows up, my emotions go crazy. I notice that I'm normally a calm person. I don't curse. But when this person is around, I notice my mouth is moving and certain words coming out of my mouth that are not pleasant. Have you had that experience before? Because your level and ability to observe is extended not just during meditative times, but starts to ooze into your life. And when that happens, you start to notice you're calmer most of the time. And even if you get agitated, guess what? You're agitated and you're still watching it. You go, part of you go, yeah, but that's not the right thing to do. Okay, let's change course. Let's not get too agitated. Let's just look agitated so that person will get the message, but in reality, we're in control. So what you're doing is you're actually observing what has happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future. You're observing it all in the now and making decisions in the now to affect your future. Now, that said, that's why we have to be grateful for everything that happened to us, because all of it has a purpose. When you're able to observe things that are happening, that all of them are interconnected, there's a purpose for everything, you can say, I'm very grateful this is happening because everything is happening in God's plan. That's it. So you'll notice whatever happens in the economy, it goes up, goes down, things go well, not so go well. You go, well, it is what it is. Just observe it. You do what a prudent person will do the best you can, and just leave everything God. You've done your best, just observe it. It's part of the human experience. Right? Worst case scenario, when you leave your body, the soul continues to move on. It's happening to the body, the emotions, the thoughts, not the spiritual self. That's how you'll notice the more you do your meditation and spiritual practice, your fear level decreases. When people don't do their spiritual practice, the fear is always high. Every little thing gets them fearful. When you're on the spiritual path and really do your practice, one thing you notice is your fear level starts to go down, because you just get to observe this is happening for a purpose. Just like that kid that broke his leg. As bad as it was, the old dude already knew this happened for a purpose, told the family, calm down, everything's fine. The family goes, no! Then the Great War happened, and because the guy had a broken leg, he didn't have to go to war. While everybody got slaughtered, the family still have a son. Everything happened in God's time, in God's purpose. And a lot of you, remember Tony Robbins was telling me, life is happening for you, not to you. But whether it's for you or to you, when it comes to perception, is who's observing. If you're observing from the body, the emotions, and the thoughts, you'll always be disappointed. If you observe it from the spiritual self, I'm the soul, I'm the spiritual self going through this spiritual journey with lessons to learn, then everything is a learning experience. The good, the not so good, and the great. Let's meditate. To the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Mother, to all the spiritual elders, holy masters, saints, archangels, holy angels, spiritual helpers, of course, to my beloved teacher, Master Choco Sui Mahaguji Mailing, we humbly invoke for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, divine recognition of who we are and our place in the universe, that we may be of service to all. We thank you in full faith, and so it is. All right, let's do meditation twin hearts. So take your left hand, tap your heart, take your right hand, tap your crown. Now put your hand like this. Let's affirm oneness to make sure the energy is very strong, where they're all strongly connected. Put your attention on your crown. I am that. I am. I'm not the body. I'm not the emotions. I'm not the thoughts. The body, the emotions, the thoughts are just my instruments. I am the soul, the mover of the body, the creator of the feelings, and creator of the thoughts. I am that. The soul, the spiritual self. Just be still. Just leave your awareness above your crown. I am that. The soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence to control my mind. I'm a spiritual being of divine love to control my emotions. I'm a spiritual being of divine power and will to control my body. I am that. The soul. Just be still. I am connected in one to my higher soul. I am connected in one to the divine spirit in me. I am a child of God, means all of us are growing. I am one with God. I am one with all. There is only oneness. Any separation or division, they're just illusions. We are one. Maintain your stillness. Maintain your awareness. We are one. Now open your hands in blessing. Say, our hearts are one, our souls are one, our spirits are one. There is only oneness. Now imagine the earth in front of you, the size of a little ball. Be aware of your heart. Be aware of your hands. Flood the earth with beautiful pink light. We will use the universal prayer of Saint Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Wherever there's hatred anywhere in the world, anywhere, within me and outside of me, let me sow unconditional love. Where there's injury, let me sow pardon and forgiveness. To all I have hurt in however way I've hurt you, I'm truly sorry. I've learned from my mistakes. I humbly ask for your forgiveness. And I also forgive myself. To all who have hurt me, we are all children of God. We are all growing and evolving. And evolution involves time, process, and lots of mistakes. I've had my share of mistakes and learned from them. So can you. To all who have hurt me, you are completely forgiven. Go in peace. And may you be blessed with inner peace, inner healing, and may you also spiritually grow and learn from your mistakes. Namaste. Just be still. Where there's doubt, let me sow faith. Where there's despair, let me sow hope. Let's recall people we know who are going through difficult times with their health, with their relationships, with their finances. Visualize these turning around and getting better. Bless them with hope and with faith and a better life. So it is. So it is. Where there is darkness, let me sow light. Darkness in spirituality is the absence of spiritual light. So when souls forget that they are being of spiritual light, they get entangled with their body, their emotions and thoughts, and so they forget and they swim in the darkness. Bless them with spiritual light. May they realize they are a spiritual being having an earthly journey. So it is. And where there is sadness, let me sow joy. Just say, our hearts are one. Our souls are one. May every person, every being be blessed with peace, with love, with a spirit of forgiveness, with hope and with faith, with light and with joy. So be it. So be it. And so it is. Now just be still and let that energy flow through us. Now, be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Lift that loving feeling up to your crown and gently exhale. One more time, be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown and exhale. Gently, one more time, be aware of your heart. Take a deep breath. Be aware of your crown. Exhale. And stay there. You might feel a tingling on your crown, a slight pressure. That's the divine energy pouring on your crown like a waterfall. Just let that golden light flow down from your crown, through your hands, and bless your family with it. Your relatives, your friends, the city you live in. Let it spread to the city, the state, the country. Let that golden light just spread everywhere. From the heart of God, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with loving kindness. Let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. Let all be blessed without exception. So be it. Can you feel that energy flowing through? May all be blessed without exception. So it is. May all be blessed with peace, love, and kindness. So be it. Now, gently be aware of your heart and your crown. Take a deep breath. Exhale. Imagine golden light pouring down into the earth, even brighter than before. Again, gently be aware of your heart and crown. Take a deep breath. Exhale, rivers of golden light pouring out of your hands, penetrating to the atmosphere, filling the land, the sea, the people, the animals. Let that golden light penetrate deep into the earth's crust, deep down, down, down into the earth's core. So be it. From the center of the heart of God, through my soul, through my entire being, may every person, every being on earth be blessed with love and kindness. Let all be blessed with great joy and happiness, with understanding, harmony, and divine peace. From the center of the heart of God, may all be blessed with inner peace, inner healing. May all be blessed with goodwill, and especially the willingness to do good. So be it. Just flood the earth with so much loving energy. Unconditional loving energy. So be it. Just keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Just let it flow through us. Maintain your stillness and just let the blessings flow through us as one gigantic pipe pouring down on the earth. Blessings be to all. Blessings be to all. Now gently lower your hands on your lap. Maintain your stillness and awareness. Maintain your tongue connected to your palate. Imagine a beautiful golden star, a golden sun, or golden flame floating a few inches above your crown. Gently be aware of the love within your heart. Send a stream of love from your heart up to the crown and into that golden light. Just stay there. That is your true nature. Just a being of light, a miniature sun in the inner world. Again, be aware of the love within your heart. Send a stream of love from your heart up, past your crown, and deeper into that golden light. Stay there. Your entire consciousness and awareness is now inside that beautiful golden light. Within that golden light, listen to the mantra Om. Your soul is listening. That's the real you. Om. We are one. Allow your awareness to just drift deeper and deeper into that golden light. Om. Be still. Be aware. And just simply let go and let things be now. Maintain your stillness. Maintain your awareness. The brilliant golden light is gently descending down to your crown. Be still. It's sitting on your crown. The brilliant light is now slowly descending down to the center of your head. Be still. This beautiful golden light is now gently descending down to your throat. Be still, be aware of that light on your throat. Just observe it. That beautiful, brilliant light is now descending down to the center of your chest in your heart chakra. That beautiful golden light is in your heart. Be still. It's a miniature sun radiating light in every direction from your heart. Be still. The beautiful golden light from your heart is gently rising up to your throat, up to the center of your head. Be still. Up to your crown. Be still, be aware of your crown. Just observe that golden light. Just observe that golden light on your crown. Gently see it rising, floating, drifting higher and higher above your head to a more brilliant light way above your crown. Allow that light to just gently go higher. Just watch it go higher, higher, and merge into that beautiful, brilliant light way above your head. And stay there. And let go. Now. Here, the past, the present, the future are one. Let go. Now. You are the light. I am that light. Let go. still. Gently, very slowly, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Very gently and very slowly, slide back into your physical body. Gently, right now. Take your time. Now gently raise your hands in blessing. We'll release the excess energy. First, imagine the people you love. Just line them up in front of you. Your family, your friends, whoever you love. Fill them all with golden light. May all of them be blessed with good health, with much happiness, abundance and prosperity, and spiritual oneness. So be it. So be it. Now, if you want to, we've asked you, you can write, you've written down your goals, your aspirations. It could be for physical health, could be for finances, could be relationship, whatever it is. Whatever your wish list is, pull it out in front of you. We'll give you a few seconds. Go. The ones who are new, what happens is this. When you do this meditation, you're in the full moon. There's so much energy, right? Well, guess what? What are you going to do with it? You can sell it. So you can take that energy, whatever your body cannot absorb. We'll have all our lists, our wishes, our goals, and just filled with energy. You see, it's something like this. It's connected to what we said earlier. Before anything happens physically, it first happens energetically. So when you have a thought, you have emotion that's happening in the energy world, there's an interim time between here in the mental, the immaterial, and intangible world to the material world. This time. So this time going from here to here, that process is called materialization. Most people call it manifestation, which is actually not very accurate. Materialization is more accurate because it's going from intangible to tangible. Now, how fast it goes down is determined by many factors. One of the main factors is how much energy does it have. That's why you notice when you think of something, I like to have a nice car, okay. But you go, so you put so much energy into it, things seem to line up. Because, as we said before, your presence and understanding of now, that's where you pour your energy. Well, guess what? You're in the full moon, we're very present with energy, right? So when you're having it down, you're basically writing it down, pulls it from the energy world to the material world. Come on, you guys. Haven't you guys seen the Ten Commandments with Charlton Heston and Yul Brynner? When he was that Pharaoh, he goes, so shall it be written, so shall it be done. Because when it's written, you're pulling it from the energy world to the material world. Then you pile on energy. That's what we're doing now. Okay? So, you guys ready? Just have it in front of you. Put your hand like this. Okay, repeat after me. We are one. We're one with God. We're one with all. Okay, keep your tongue on your palate. Now pour golden light into your project. Better finances, better health, better relationships, whatever it is. Just fill with golden light. Keep going. By the way, you might be wondering why gold. When you take pranic healing, you understand gold has consciousness. Gold is actually spiritual energy that has materialized. Okay, so if you're having a goal or a wish to, go rob a bank and be successful, it won't happen. Just letting you know, okay? Fill with golden light. Keep going. Visualize your goal, your aspiration, your wish materializing. Keep going. Smile. Be happy about it because you want that type of energy in there. Come on. If you want your body healthier, or you know someone who's sick, you want to make them healthier, Somebody having finances, financial issues, visualize it getting better, filled with golden light. Keep going. Keep going. We'll add extra special sauce. Keep going. If you're sensitive, you might feel something in your hand. Just be receptive. With God's blessing, may all your wishes, goals, and aspirations be supercharged. Materialize properly now. So be it. How's that feel? Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the meditation. I hope you learned something about it. I know I went all over the place, anything from the one being one with all to quantum mechanics to this and that. I hope that, well, anyway, this is recorded. You can always rewind it if you don't understand my English. I know it sometimes sounds like Chinese, but it's actually a mixture of two. Okay? Now, before we finish, I just want to invite you. I'm going to put this up on the screen. All right. 31 days of gratitude. And we started this, I don't know, 7 years ago maybe. And what it is every single day, there's something to be grateful for. So I'll just read it off to you, okay? So every Sunday, there's a gratitude meditation of being grateful to our Creator. And then on Monday, gratitude of loving kindness to oneself. Now, let me put that in proper context. Some of you have been watching us in our other videos and events. We've mentioned this before. Adi Shankara, one of the great saints in India, many years ago, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, said, there are 3 blessings a soul can have. 1, human birth to learn and grow. Number 2, the thirst or the yearning to be spiritually liberated, to experience enlightenment and oneness. And the third blessing is the blessings and the tutelage of a great spiritual teacher. Okay? So the first one is human birth. I'm sharing that with you because oftentimes when circumstances around us are not that pleasant, we have a tendency to complain. Like we covered that earlier, to be grateful for everything we have. And so on Mondays is gratitude and loving kindness for oneself for this journey so that we can go through it in a very more productive way. Okay? Tuesday is gratitude for good health. Let me say it again. A lot of people like to complain. They say, oh yeah, I've been sick every time this whole year. Let's calculate it. In 365 days, how many days were your body sick? I mean, if you add it up, have a cold, back pain, this and that, right? Most people say, oh yeah, well, if I really break it down, maybe twice a month, how many days? If you add up those days, most of the people that we talk to, by the time they go, 4 or 5 days a month, it happened. Okay, let's count it out. 5 times 12 is 60. There's 365 days a year. That means 305 of the year, you're healthy, right? Something to be grateful for. By the way, on Tuesday, when we do the gratitude meditation for our health, there's also part of meditation is self-healing. Wednesday is gratitude for our spiritual teachers and mentors. Some people are so arrogant, I want to sweep them, spiritually slap them. They think they know everything. Look at it this way. Yes, you can experience enlightenment and oneness with God on your own. You can. But why work so hard when you have teachers who have already gone down that path? If they're already screwed up and already can tell you, do this, don't do this, do this. It's like having a spiritual GPS, right? Now, a lot of you who came from Tony's event, you know the value of having a spiritual value of a coach. Here, I'm taking it one level beyond the material, a spiritual coach. Having a spiritual teacher, whoever your spiritual teachers are, you have to be grateful for them because they feed your soul 24 hours a day. Okay? Thursday, gratitude for prosperity and abundance. Again, if you've been to other countries, of course, if you're watching this from another country, you know what I'm talking about. Here in the United States, people like to complain about their finances. If you go to a third world country, you will know you're rich. A lot of these places, the amount of money they make in a month is crazy. It's just minuscule. And here where we're complaining, because I don't have that new iPhone, I don't have that, I'm poor. I'm sweeping your crowd. A lot to be grateful for. By the way, let me get this through to you. when we like to complain, we close the trapdoor of blessings falling down to us from heaven. We become non-receptive to the blessings coming in. So stop whining, okay? Be grateful. Fridays, gratitude for our relationships with friends and family. I know it's not always good. Some are better, some are not. But there's always something to be grateful for. And Saturday, gratitude for life's lessons. You remember that story of the guy that broke his leg, but in the big picture, it saved his life? There are many lessons that happen in life that we are not aware of. It's always God's plan, not our plan. So, right here, it starts December 1, and it goes all the way to the end of the month. So, it's 7 days, and it goes back again. So, every day, there's a meditation, and then after 1 week, you go back to it. We just want to put you on a routine to do these meditations. Just like last August, every August it's a meditation challenge because it's the month of my teacher's birthday. So there's 31 days of meditation. So in December, Christmas, we always like to take, but in reality, we take and give thank you. Okay? By the way, let me just throw something at you here about Christmas. I've heard actually people complain. They go, this thing with Christmas and holidays, it's all made up by all these different companies to sell you toys and sell you stuff and all that stuff. That's probably true. But remember, look at it from the soul's viewpoint. It might be true, but it also gives people the opportunity to open their hearts. In other words, it's just the people coercing us to give money to these companies so we'll buy their stuff so we can give it as gifts. What's wrong with that? Didn't you make somebody happy? Yeah, but I'm not spending this money. I only give it because it's Christmas. If I don't give it, people will think this and that. So what? Even if you give grudgingly, okay, I know some of you are not going to like this. Even if you give grudgingly, like that, you know what? The fact that some energy left you and you gave it to someone, your heart chakra went like this. That's why at first you might not like giving it. Then later on you notice it gets easier. You know why? Because every time you give, even if you don't like it, your heart chakra is slightly inching open. And at some point, you give it because it's the right thing to do, and it gives you satisfaction in your soul. Yeah, so when people complain, it's all a ploy to make you buy stuff and give stuff, I go, great. I mean, I've actually heard people say, somebody cut me off today on the highway. Normally I give him the finger, but it's Christmas, so I'll do it in January. You'd be shocked. Oh, I'll be nice because it's Christmas. Then it did its job. Look at it from a higher viewpoint. Okay? So anyway, you're invited to do this if you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine. Do whatever the heck you like. It's just an opportunity for us to get together and do a spiritual routine. So that's starting December 1. Okay? And we have a Christmas special, meditation on Christmas and New Year's. Anyway, if you're part of our mailing list, we'll inform you of all of these. All right, I think I've done my job. Let's give thanks to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, to all the spiritual elders, Holy Masters, Saints, Archangels, Holy Angels, spiritual helpers. Personally, to my beloved teacher, Master Tuakok Sui Mahagu Jumeli, and all our spiritual teachers, thank you for your blessings, your guidance, your help. Okay, in my case, for your patience. Thank you for all the blessings we've received, and thank you for letting us see and realize how blessed we are in all aspects of our life. We thank you in full faith. So be it. Om. Amen. Amin. Tatastu. And so it is. All right. Thank you very much for allowing me to serve you. Thank you for being you. And otherwise, I'll be just talking to this little hole, the camera hole. But I know that you guys are out there. And I hope that my teacher's teachings have uplifted you and at least give you some hope and some direction for your soul to travel. Namaste. You all take care. Live super energized. And we'll see you next time. Oh, wait. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m., 6 p.m., Anchor the Light Meditation. So tomorrow, 10 a.m., get your butt in front of your computer.